This is a story about a boy and an orca. The boy, abandoned by his family, meets an orca captured by humans. They become inseparable partners. The young orca's name is Wiley. Before coming to the aquarium, Wiley lived with his family in the vast ocean. During the journey, Wiley fell into a human trap. A group of greedy humans anchored their boat near a small island, preparing to capture the orca. Seeing the orcas approaching, they quickly deployed a large fishing net from their boat. By the time the young orca, Wiley, heard the noise, it was too late. Wiley's parents tried to escape with him, but the humans deliberately made noises to drive Wiley towards the net. Ultimately, the terrified Wiley fell into the human trap. Wiley struggled and called out, but the sturdy net ensnared him tightly. He tried to break free, but to no avail. His family tried to rescue him, but were separated by the massive net. For the safety of the rest of the family, Wiley's parents had no choice but to leave with the other calves. Wiley watched his parents' retreating figures with immense sorrow, not knowing what the future held for him. The human boy's name was Jesse. He was a foster child who often ran away to cause mischief. This time, he broke into an aquarium and saw such a large whale for the first time, causing him to stop in his tracks. The enormous orca appeared before Jesse, leaving him stunned. Just then, a security guard found him and took him to the police station. Since Jesse was a minor, he was punished with community service at the aquarium. His job was to clean graffiti from the ponds and wipe down the aquarium's glass. Once again, Jesse was struck by the sight of the orca. Wiley's majestic appearance fascinated him. The keeper warned Jesse not to get too close, explaining that the orca's name was Wiley and that he was extremely aggressive. So far, no one at the aquarium had been able to tame him. Jesse looked at the seals nearby, obediently following the keeper's instructions. In stark contrast to the orca, Wiley had no interest in the applause from humans. When he had free time at work, Jesse would play his harmonica. The melody traveled through the glass and reached Wiley's ears. Wiley seemed to enjoy the sound and started making noises in response. Surprisingly, the music calmed Wiley. He swam back and forth in the water joyfully, occasionally leaping out and playfully splashing the water. A female keeper walked by and saw Wiley behaving so happily for the first time. She told Jesse that when orcas splash the water, it's a sign of inner joy. Wiley must really like you, she said. When it was time to go home, Jesse didn't want to leave. His curiosity once again got the better of him, and he inadvertently caught the attention of the security guard, trying to evade the guard's patrol. He accidentally fell into the water tank. Jesse couldn't swim, and the security guard didn't notice him fall in. As he was on the verge of drowning, Wiley discovered him. Gently, Wiley approached the unconscious Jesse and used his nose to slowly push him to the shore. After a while, Jesse regained consciousness and realized it was Wiley who had saved him. The keepers were astonished when they heard about Wiley's rescue. Wiley hadn't bitten Jesse, which was surprising given his reputation for aggression. The keeper told Jesse, "There's a legend that whales seek out their soulmates. Only when they meet their soulmate are they willing to be tamed." Since then, the mischievous Jesse stopped causing trouble and found his greatest joy in visiting the aquarium to see Wiley every day. However, he accidentally discovered that the owner planned to drown Wiley because the whale refused to perform and was costing a lot to feed and care for. The female trainer pleaded earnestly with the owner, promising she would train Wiley and asking for more time. She explained that Wiley was afraid of humans and would thrash and howl, trying to break free from its restraints. Unable to stand by any longer, Jesse secretly cut the ropes and released Wiley back into the pool, temporarily saving its life. Wiley returned to the water, but the owner stopped providing food for it. Jesse used his meager allowance to buy fresh fish from the dock, determined to repay Wiley for saving his life. At first, Jesse casually threw the fish into the water and signaled with his mouth for Wiley to eat. But Wiley just brought the fish back to Jesse. Thinking Wiley didn't know how to eat fish, Jesse demonstrated by mimicking how to eat it. Looking quite serious and sincere, Wiley nodded, as if signaling something. Jesse asked, "Do I have to feed it to you?" Wiley nodded again and obediently opened its mouth. Jesse carefully placed the fish in its mouth. Realizing this was the way Wiley preferred to be fed, Jesse gently stroked Wiley with his hand, mindful that it was a wild orca. To his surprise, Wiley extended its snout towards Jesse, who softly patted it. At that moment, the two kindred spirits formed a bond. Jesse wanted to save some fish for next time, since he had spent all his allowance on them, but Wiley followed him, refusing to leave, much like a little child pleading with an older sibling for more treats. Jesse mimicked the trainer by spinning around in circles, and soon, he and Wiley were engaging in a playful ballet. This scene was witnessed by the female trainer, who approached them and began guiding Wiley. To prevent Wiley from being killed, the trainer started teaching Jesse how to train the orca. Jesse used a ball to get Wiley's attention, rewarding it with fish whenever it responded. Over time, Jesse and Wiley developed a strong bond, and their coordinated training improved significantly. Everyone believed that at this rate, Wiley would surely become the new star of the aquarium. However, at night, Wiley would still emit sad cries. At first, Jesse didn't understand why. Shortly after, Wiley's training showed great progress, and the orca passed all the basic performance tasks, from waving at the audience to swimming quickly in circles and performing alongside Jesse. These acts delighted the children. Jesse even got to the point where he would touch Wiley's tongue, help brush its teeth, and massage it, finding the texture quite unique. The results of the training were evident, and the first internal performance amazed the owner with its spectacular display. He decided to officially launch Wiley's public performances. Once the promotional posters for Wiley went out, large crowds of children came to the aquarium to see the orca. The kids would press against the glass, expressing their excitement, but the banging noises made Wiley very uneasy. When it was time for Wiley's performance, the orca's movements were sluggish, and it trembled, as if trying to say something. This behavior made the audience impatient. Jesse tried to comfort Wiley, but the orca sank to the bottom of the pool. Seeing Wiley at the bottom, the children began banging on the glass even harder. The shouts and noises from the humans reminded Wiley of the fear it felt when it was captured. Wiley ran into the glass, scaring the children, who started crying and causing a commotion. By the time the owner arrived, the aquarium's glass was already beginning to leak. The performance was a failure, and Wiley's fate seemed uncertain. Jesse was also upset, feeling that Wiley had embarrassed him. Meanwhile, the owner began to implement his own plan. He decided that Wiley was a liability and planned to stage an accident to kill the orca, intending to collect the insurance money. Jesse discovered the owner's scheme, and the guilty owner quickly fled. Jesse found the trainer for help, but they couldn't repair the damage. As the water in the aquarium rapidly drained, the trainer hurriedly fetched wet cloths to prepare for the emergency. Wiley was extremely frightened as the water level in the pool continued to drop, making the situation increasingly dangerous. Desperate, Jesse jumped into the pool, comforting Wiley with gentle strokes. Wiley lay on the wet cloths while the trainer prepared the car, and Jesse busily sprayed water on Wiley to keep it moist. They decided to return Wiley to the ocean. The owner, upon discovering that Wiley had been taken, ordered his men to pursue them. If Wiley died, the insurance company would pay out, but if it was stolen, he would get nothing. On the way, Wiley's skin began to dry out, and the trainers had to stop to find water, causing some delays. It was morning by the time they reached the dock. By then, the owner and his men were already waiting at the dock. The trainers hurriedly drove the car towards the water, not even caring about the vehicle. The owner had his men ready to dive in and recapture Wiley. The trainers quickly pushed Wiley towards the water. However, Wiley couldn't leave just yet. Fishing boats were waiting in front of the dock, ready to catch Wiley again if the orca swam forward. Jesse shouted to Wiley to change direction and swim towards the breakwater. But with such a wide stretch of rocky barrier, could Wiley leap over it? Finally, encouraged by Jesse, Wiley summoned all its strength and made a powerful leap. Returning to the ocean, Wiley was free at last. As Jesse watched Wiley swim away, he was filled with joy and then with sadness. Seeing Wiley return to its natural habitat brought him immense comfort, but the thought of Wiley leaving him made him deeply sorrowful. The story of the little boy and the orca continues. Stay tuned for the next chapter.